I'm Aaron McKinney here with performance faculty LisaGay Hamilton, who is directing the Trestle at Pope Lick Creek by playwright Naomi Wallace. Did you know about Naomi Wallace's Trestle at Pope Lick Creek before this workshop?
I was actually asked, I was potentially going to direct it at a small theater in Chicago, and they were interviewing me to potentially direct it. So I read the play for that. And then after I discovered they were only going to pay me $300, I decided, well, perhaps I should pass. So I passed. And so then Travis graciously asked me would I like to direct this season, this semester, and I said yes, and he asked me what play I would like to do. And I thought this was a really good piece for me, and I thought it was a good piece given that it was a workshop and it was geared more toward the performance than it was necessarily the production.
Okay. We know your background. You graduated from Juilliard. You've been in numerous TV shows, films, and on stage. And we know you have a background in Shakespeare. What draws you to different medias or different forms, different genres? Did you have any challenges making that crossover?
Basically, I go for a job that pays. So no matter where it could be in theater, it could be in film, it could be on television. If it helps me pay my bills, that's number one. And two, my preference is stage. I mean, that's where I feel, they always say that a theater is the actor's medium, that film and that television is the writer's medium, and that film is the director's medium. And I think that's true. I think that an actor has much more control over his or her performance, just by the nature that it's live and it's you up there. So I really love theater. And then as far as directing theater, this piece is the kind of theater that I like. It's rather minimalist. It is character driven, and there's just not a lot of stuff going on. And so I love pieces like that. The transition, I think being an African American woman, it's just difficult. I think it's difficult in the world as just a human being, and I think it's difficult in the profession that we're in. I think there are a lot of limitations that are placed on us because of race, because of gender, because of a complex history that we have in this country. And I think also there are stereotypes that are still portrayed, both produced by African Americans and by non-African Americans. So it's difficult to find the kind of material that I'm really interested in that provides me with a genuine challenge and something that I feel comfortable with and confident in and proud of. So I pretty much came out of Juilliard and went straight into theater and stayed in New York for a while, and then eventually sort of went into television some, and then went into film some, and now it's really truly wherever I can get the work. I think it has to do with teaching.
Okay.
I really, really love to teach. And as I've matured as a human being and as an actor, I am beginning to get more grounded in my own aesthetics and in my own philosophy about the craft. And having the opportunity to help shape and mold a human being thinking about themselves differently is, to me, my way of giving back. It's my way of a contribution to our society. And there's nothing like, from being an actor to being a director, the process is what is crucial. It's the most important aspect. It's the process. And watching an actor find their way, and for me finding my way, not only with my own style, but with the piece itself. The more and more it's read, the more and more we rehearse, I get different things from the piece. I get new insight into what a moment might be or into who a character might be. And it's just the evolutionary process I find really rewarding and interesting, and I don't know, there's something peaceful about it. I don't know.
This is an actor's workshop. So it's very minimal as far as no set to rely on, very minimal lighting, very minimal sound. During this process, what is the most important thing that you would want the actors to take away from this? And can you describe the process for this particular production?
I don't think their process is unique than anyone else's. You know, I think there's a typical table read, and you spend some time understanding the text. Ideally, you spend some time putting the play in its historical context. And then you get up on your feet and begin. I guess the one thing, it's how to teach and how to direct and teach an actor how to just be, how to just be. And it's interesting. It's difficult. Because we, you know, as individuals, we come with our own baggage and our own stuff, and then we come with our own perception of what acting is and what it is to be dramatic, and then you have a performance, and then you get bored, and then you just go, oh God, intermission, should I return? I don't know. So it's been really challenging to sort of break actors from these actors, because they're students, you know, whether they're MFA or VFA, getting them to break their habit of performance and getting them to delve deeply into themselves as to who they are as human beings, and then for them to delve into who these characters are as human beings. And so I'd like to think that my cast leaves here thinking differently about themselves as actors, okay, perhaps as human beings, and perhaps having another alternative to a process. I'm not the be-all and end-all. You have different styles galore, and this just happens to be, you know, my style and my style for the moment. And so I'm hoping, and I've seen it in rehearsal, where there are these moments where they just let themselves alone, and organically they come to life and things happen. And then it goes away. So my hope is that they can really feel what that was like, that moment of just being and existing, and try to achieve that throughout the performance and throughout their work as actors, because I think it's beneficial.
Okay. So what was your favorite or most fulfilling role as an actor?
Let's see. For theater, I would say I was lucky enough to perform with Apple Fugard in a play called Valley Song, where it was a 3-character play with only 2 of us. He played 2 characters. He played my grandfather, and to a certain degree played himself, or a writer. And I played a young girl, and I'm proud to say I was 30 playing a 15-year-old, and I passed. And everyone thought I was South African, so I was really, really pleased with that transformation. And then just a couple of years ago, I did a play by Adrian Kennedy in New York. I should brag. My second OB, okay, and for an Adrian Kennedy play called The Ohio State Murders. It's probably the most difficult plays I've ever done in my life, and I loved it. And my fingers are crossed to do it here in LA in some capacity. And as far as television, the last role I played was Melissa Thoreau in Men of a Certain Age, where I got to play Andre Braugher's wife. And Ray Romano and Mike Royce, who were the executive producers, were just lovely, lovely people and lovely to work with. And Andre and I actually went to Juilliard together, so we've known each other for 20 plus years. Oh my God, I can't believe I said that. And given that we come from Juilliard, we have the same vocabulary and have the same work ethic, and both really, really just love each other and respect each other. So I just had a blast working with him. And then for film, I will always treasure my opportunity to play younger Setha in Beloved. I really, really am proud of my work in that. And then I got to do an independent film this summer that you always hope will see the light of day. You never know, but I got to ride a horse, which is so freaking cool. And it was a contemporary piece, so I had a blast doing it. It's called Beyond Redemption, so my fingers are crossed that somebody sees it.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.